Only mode.
Well, a good Saturday morning to everybody on this Labor Day weekend. Welcome to our Saturday morning training webinar. My name is John Dehart. I am the Executive Director, Sales, Marketing, and Field Development for the Family Vacation Network. Again, I want to thank all of you for joining this morning, taking time out of what I'm sure is going to be a busy weekend. And I'll tell you what, folks, we are going to cover, we're in our series now of the 7 skills to big money with the Family Vacation Network. And today we are covering skill number 2, which is how to invite. And folks, I want to say this right up front. While all 7 of the skills are important, clearly how to invite is the single most important skill that you need to master if you want to grow your Family Vacation Network business. And you may say, well, why is that? Why does one take more precedent over the other? Well, it's real simple. If you do not get anyone to look at the Family Vacation Network business model or vacations, I promise you no growth. I mean, it really, really is simple. So we've got to become masters at inviting. And believe it or not, there is some technique to this. There are some simple things that you can do having fun with this that will really make a big difference in getting people to look at the Family Vacation Network business opportunity and at our vacation program. And folks, I'll tell you what, it just keeps getting better and better every single day with the Family Vacation Network. We're going to have some major announcements at this Orlando event. If you have not made your reservations yet for Orlando, you need to be on the phone Tuesday and get that done. Get your reservations in. Get to our Orlando event as we start our kickoff series throughout the country, because there's going to be some announcements that are going to rock the network marketing industry. And folks, you may know me. I don't hype things up very much. I just kind of tell it like it is. So if I say something like there are going to be some announcements that are going to rock the network marketing industry, I'm not kidding. It is big time. Do everything you can to get yourself there. But here's the thing, don't come alone. Come with your group. That is important. The more people you have there, the bigger your group is going to grow and the bigger your business is going to grow. So with that, let's kick off our series on how to invite, skill number 2. And really, folks, as we start this off, it really does begin with an attitude. And this is an attitude that you really want to permeate through your entire group, through your distribution network for the Family Vacation Network. And it really is this. Our business is not about hunting, and it's not about pitching, it's not about selling. And so often, we'll get top-notch salespeople that'll come into our industry or into the Family Vacation Network, and they want to close. They want to get people in, and they get that high off of closing somebody into the business. Folks, when we close somebody into the business, when that person gets started, that's not where the work ends. That's where the work begins, because that's where we start building relationships and building that person's business with them and helping them to build their business. So trust me, it's not about going in for the kill. It's not about hunting. It's not about pitching. It's not about selling. So we really need to start with that attitude first. So what is it about? Well, here's the thing. Network marketing is also called relationship marketing. And if you see some of the most successful marketers out there in our industry, they're not strong-arm people. They build relationships, right? They build friendships. This is a business partnership. And so that's really the attitude that comes through. I see Hal's on our webinar right now. I'll tell you what, I've not met anybody better at building relationships and friendships through our business than Hal Culbertson. That person doesn't exist. He's the best I've ever seen at doing this. And because of that, he's made millions of dollars in this industry. So it really is about an attitude, and the attitude is not about being a hunter or selling or closing or anything like that. It's really about building relationships. And so, the top inviters really do have a very, very different attitude about our business. And it all starts with this. They have the attitude of they gather people to them and they cultivate relationships. We're not hunters, we're farmers. We cultivate relationships, right? We're planting seeds. We're sowing seeds out there, and then we cultivate those seeds as they grow, they mature, so that we can have a harvest. That's what our business model is really all about. So if you come at our model like that, you're really going to have a lot more success, and you're going to find our business a lot more fun and a lot less frustrating. So first, it's about caring, caring and then sharing. It's caring enough about friends and family that you reach out and you connect with them, right? We want to reach out, connect with people. We want to find out where they're at in their life, if the timing is right. And then if it is, we want to share the Family Vacation Network business and the vacation experience with them. It may not be right, but guess what? If it isn't, we just planted that seed. And then we follow up. We've got that little tickler list that we talked about. And every 30 days or 60 days, we follow up with them because people's lives change all the time. And so it really is more about being a farmer. And successful networkers take that attitude. They have a long-term relationship-building attitude. They cultivate those relationships. They plant seeds, and they help those seeds grow until they get to harvest. That's what our business model is really all about. So if we start with that relationship, folks, and with that attitude, you are really, really setting yourself up for success in our business. Now, the second thing I want to cover on this is really the emotional ground rules for inviting and inviting correctly. And there are 3 emotional ground rules that successful inviters have automatically. They've learned over time that you've got to have these 3 things. So number 1, they are emotionally detached from the outcome. Again, if we're a farmer and not a hunter, if we're not going in for the kill, but we're planting seeds and building successful relationships and cultivating those relationships, understand what our primary goal is. Our primary goal is to expose and educate people to better understand the Family Vacation Network, to what we have to offer, our business opportunity and our products. You know what? Somebody may not be ready to take a vacation, right? Right now. But we've planted that seed, and we can go back to them. Maybe 6 months from now, they are ready to book that vacation. That's why we want to plant the seeds. So we're finding out. Remember, our goal is to expose and educate people. It's not about hunting. It's not going in for the kill. It's cultivating those relationships, educating people on a better way to vacation called the Family Vacation Network. So really, we act as consultants, really consulting to people how they can get more out of life and vacation more often and have a better life. So that's the emotional rule number 1. Be detached from the outcome. Understand, we're really like consultants out there. And folks, if you go in with that attitude, all right, and that emotion going in, it really makes our business a lot more fun, all right? Because guess what? You never face rejection, right? If your attitude is, my primary goal is to expose and educate people, I'll get them later, right? But I never face rejection then. So if the timing's not right for them right now, guess what? I still reached my goal, right? My goal was to expose and educate. So that's the first emotional rule. Number 2, you got to be yourself, but you got to be the best you that you can be, right? So people sense a fraud. So you can't be somebody other than you, right? You got to be you. You got to be real. Authenticity is key to our business, but you've got to be the best you can be. You've got to be excited about FVN, but you got to keep it real because people will sense when you're not sincere. So be the best you that you can possibly be is the emotional rule number 2. And number 3, make sure you have good posture when talking with a prospect about FVN. And folks, posture is an attitude. And let me say this about it. To me, the biggest difference between an average network marketer and somebody that makes $100,000 plus a month in our business is one word: posture. It all boils down to one word. When you look at the key leaders in our industry, when you look at the key leaders with the Family Vacation Network, they all have one thing in common. They have that intangible called posture. And folks, you can develop it. Posture is an attitude, and it's an attitude of, you know what, I got it. I got it. I've got the Family Vacation Network. I've got the best thing on the planet, and guess what? I don't beg anybody to look at the Family Vacation Network. I go in with an attitude of, hey, I've got it. I'm here to show it to you. If you want it, great, come and get it. But if you don't, I understand. And I don't do rejection that way, okay? But I've got this attitude when I invite people that they just know that this is real, that the Family Vacation Network is real, and I believe it can change their life. Now, again, the only time money comes before work is in the dictionary. So they're going to have to roll up their sleeves. They're going to have to do some things if they want to build a long-term reoccurring income stream with us. But this is the vehicle. You know what? This is the Lambo that can win the race for them. And guess what? They can drive that Yugo as much as they want. They're never going to win the race. They got to get in a high-performance vehicle, and that's what we've got. We've got the Ferrari. We've got the Maserati. We've got the Lamborghini. That's the attitude I come in with, and that posture comes through when I talk to people. So, folks, when you're inviting, you want to be you, but you want to be a bolder you. You want to be you, but you want to be a more confident you. You want to be you, but you want to be a stronger you when it comes to the Family Vacation Network. That posture comes through the phone line, believe it or not. People sense it. It's like a sixth sense. You either have it or you don't, and if you have it, your business is going to grow in inviting. If you don't, I'll tell you what, I can sense it when I'm on the phone with somebody. They don't have the right posture about our business, and this goes well beyond inviting. The posture is an intangible that all leaders have. They have it when dealing with their groups. Because a leader, you know what, this is business. And sometimes things aren't going to go perfectly. And a leader has the posture where they say, yes, I understand that, but look at this. Look at all these great things that are going on in our business. So folks, developing posture is, in my opinion, one of the biggest keys to you going on to really big income with the Family Vacation Network. Now, let's review a little bit, because we're going to get, in just a second, we're going to get into the 8 steps, and I want you to take notes on these 8 steps to inviting correctly. And so, first of all, remember, when we're getting back in relationship with somebody, and it's all about relationship, it's warm with form. It's family, occupation, recreation, money, right? We're getting back in relationships sincerely. We're finding out what's going on in that person's life. And then, obviously, we're going to get around to the question of, how's the economy treating you, right? And most people are going to go, oh, man, it's been bad. And guess what? That's why I called. It's a good thing I called, because I may have just hit the mother lode for both of us. Okay, it's coming through with that posture. So warm with form. And again, form is the acronym for family, occupation, recreation, money. The second thing we want to do, and this is important, remember, it's not what works, it's what duplicates. So we want to use the tools to do the presentation for us, right? Our first exposure, or that prospect's first exposure, should always be with a tool. Because remember, at the end of the day, they're going to ask themselves one question. Here it is. Can I do this? Can I do this? They don't care if you can do it. They don't care if David Butler can do it, Hal can do it, Rick Thompson can do it. They're asking, can I do this? Can I make money doing this? And if they answer yes, they're going to get started. If they answer no, they're not. It's that simple. And so when we set them up to win by using the tools to as a first exposure, and then bringing the team in behind that for conference calls, for three-way phone calling, they start to see that they can do it. Hey, I can send out a link that's got, an email that's got a link in it to the Family Vacation Network, and hey, that guy Rick Thompson was a nice guy on the phone. I think he'd do some calls with me too. They start to paint themselves into our picture. And folks, that is the absolute key to building our business. If they believe they can do this, they'll get started. If they don't, and the key is using the tools in the team. Let the tools in the team do the work for you. And again, once we've made our pitch, or once we've invited them, we don't want to get sucked into answering a lot of questions. We just want to send them to fvnmovie.com. It is critical to the duplication process that we do this. Okay. Let's get into the 8 steps of inviting correctly, because there are 8 steps. And folks, you're going to want to take notes and really challenge yourself to go through all these. Practice a little bit first, but, challenge yourself to hit all 8 of these steps, because every one is a critical piece of the puzzle. This is a recipe for success. I can hand you a recipe for making chocolate chip cookies, and you can say, you know what, I think I'm going to leave the sugar out. Well, you're going to end up with something, but it's probably not going to taste like most people like chocolate chip cookies to taste, right? Or I'm going to leave the chocolate chips out. It's just not going to be quite the same thing. So if you follow this recipe for success, you will have success. Part of success, if you talk to leaders as they climb that ladder, they emulated success. They found somebody that was successful, and they did exactly what that person did. They did not reinvent the wheel. So the 8 steps to inviting. Number 1. You got to be in a hurry. Okay, so when you're on the phone with somebody and talking to them, one of the key things you're going to want to say is, I only got a minute. I'm glad I caught you, but I've only got a minute. Okay, people are attracted to folks that have it going on. They want to know that this phone call is not going to take forever, right? And not only that, if you are busy, if they see you're busy, that's a good sign. They're attracted to people that are busy, that have it going on, that are making things happen. So the first thing that you want to do is be in a hurry. Hey, I've only got a minute. I'm glad I caught you. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is you always want to compliment the prospect, right? You want to compliment that person. I've always had a lot of respect for you. You've always done well financially. You have one of the most solid families I've ever met. Your kids are well-mannered, they're well-behaved, and that's a lot because of what you've done to help raise them. You always want to compliment that prospect, right? That makes them feel good about themselves. So that's number 2. So number 1, be in a hurry. And, Rick, I've always had a lot of respect for you. You've always done well. You've always walked the straight line. You've never taken the easy way, but you've built significant things, and that's why I called you. Okay, so number 2 is be in a hurry. Number 3 is make the invitation. I've got something I want you to look at. Now, again, this ties in a bit with Warm with Form, right? We hit the mother load. Right? So, how's the economy treating you? Not well. Guess what? That's why I called. I'm working with a group of entrepreneurs. Now, folks, you want to pull out a couple of key buzzwords here. And here's a few of them. Working with a group of entrepreneurs. They found a way to leverage themselves. Okay? People want to be leveraged. They may not know exactly what that is, but they love that word. They found a way to leverage themselves. Add a significant secondary income stream, right? Significant secondary income stream. Or found a way to jack up their cash flow. Cash flow is a great word. Secondary income stream is a great word. Okay, these are little buzz things that are going to reach out and grab people. Found a way to add a secondary income stream without jeopardizing their primary job. Would that information be of interest to you? And then they're going to probably say, what? Now, so guess what? They just said, tell me about it. But that little one-liner, boom, it just hits them. I'm working with a group of people. They're having a ton of fun. They're making money. They've increased their cash flow without jeopardizing their job. You think you'd be interested in that? Okay? So make it again. It's got to be you. Can't be John Dehart. It's got to be you. You've got to be the best you that you can be when you make that invitation. And folks, that invitation has got to roll off your tongue. You cannot stammer and stutter and it's got to roll off your tongue. And guess what? At that point, we just be quiet, right? That's what we do. We just let them say, well, sure, tell me about it. Now, here's number 4. I don't want to tell them about it. What I want to do is I want to send them the information via email. Right? I want to send them a link to watch a movie, okay? And so that's what I defer to. Tell you what, why don't we do this? Let me send you some information over. If I send you a link to a 10-minute movie, and actually it's not even 10 minutes, right? It's 7 minutes, will you watch it? So this is a key phrase. If I, will you? If I, will you? If I send you a link, will you watch it? Okay? And that's what we want to get through to them, is that we're just going to send them that. It's your chance to evaluate us. If you like what you see, we'll take it to the next level. I'll introduce you to some folks. You're not going to believe the lifestyle these folks have been able to create. Right? If I, will you? If I send you this link, will you watch it? Okay? Now those are key sentences right there. Key phrase, if I, will you. Now, here's the thing. we got to confirm the commitment now. So the next 4 steps are really about confirming the commitment, because chances are they're going to say, oh, sure, I'll watch it. But right now it's kind of like, well, you get your people together with my people and we'll do lunch, right? Let's do lunch. Okay, great. How often do you hear that? Do you have a lunch date? No. You're going to do lunch sometime out there in the future. And here's the thing. If I send you this link, will you watch it? Yeah, sure. Sometime in the future. We've not confirmed anything yet. So we've got to get that confirmation. And folks, this right here is the key to successful inviting or non-successful inviting. Confirming that they're going to watch it and when they're going to watch it. So step number 5 is get a time commitment. Great. When do you think you'll be able to watch it? And folks, here's the thing. I don't plant a time in their head. I let them tell me based on their schedule when they can watch it. Okay? That's the real key. But we get it real now. Now we're getting real. We're getting down to it. We're getting down to brass tacks. When do you think you'd have a chance to watch this 7-minute movie? Or if I call you back in 10 minutes, can you do it now? Obviously, if we can get them to do it now is better than later. Okay? So get that time commitment when they can do it and try and create a sense of urgency there in getting them to do it now. But don't plant a number in their head. Let them tell you when. Okay? And then we want to confirm that time commitment. So they say, yeah, I can watch it tonight. Okay, great. So if I call you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, you'll have watched the movie. Yeah, I'll have watched it. Okay, great. So I confirm their time commitment. They're going to watch it tonight. And then I set up another time to call them. Okay? If I call you tomorrow morning, you will have watched it. Yes. Great. Why don't I call you? What time's better for you? 9 or 10 tomorrow. Alternative of choice, close. Giving them 2 choices. What time's better? 9 or 10 tomorrow morning. Okay? So now I'm scheduling the next call with them. Great. You're going to watch it tonight. I'm going to call you back tomorrow at 9 o'clock sharp, and I will call you. Okay, great. Number 8, we get off the phone. Okay? We don't want to stay on there answering a whole bunch of questions. We've set the appointment. We send them the link, and we're going to send them the link, and then we get off the phone, folks. That is the real key. We don't want to get sucked into answering a whole bunch of questions about, what is this and all of that. If you get down that road, say, hey, look, the video is going to explain a lot to you. And like I said, it's your chance to look at us. If you like it, we'll take it to the next level, 7 minutes of your life. But I get off the phone. I don't want to get sucked into answering a bunch of questions. Again, why? It's about duplication. If that person on the other line thinks they've got to learn all the questions that they're asking you, plus more, they're less likely to do our business, right? If we show them the movie and we put an expert on the phone with them, 3-way phone call, tools and team, they're going to paint themselves into our picture. They're going to say, you know what, I think I can do this, and chances are they're going to get started. It's not what works, it's what duplicates. Certainly, I can answer questions for that person. I don't. Okay? Why? Because it's not what works, it's what duplicates. Duplication is the key to our business, and duplication is simple. Keep it simple, and your business will absolutely explode. So, folks, those are the 8 steps of inviting correctly. Let me do this. What I want to do is I want to leave all of you, again, with an action item. So stay with me here for a second, because we've got a really, really important webinar coming up in a half hour. But what I want you to do is connect this week. This week, great weekend to do it, by the way. We're on Labor Day weekend. Great time to be doing some walking and talking, collecting phone numbers, calling people back. This week, connect with 10 brand new people. I don't care if you've been in this business for 4 months or a year. Connect with 10 brand new people that you've not talked with about the Family Vacation Network. Folks, we're a contact sport. The more people you contact, the bigger your business is going to be. Take these action items seriously. You can be on these trainings, but what makes the difference is when you apply the trainings and you get into action. Our business is about massive action. Massive action equals massive income. Connect with 10 people this week. And folks, let's do this. We got a half hour, okay? We've got a brand new webinar. Actually, you've got 55 minutes right now. You can see the registration link up here. David and Susie Butler are doing a brand new webinar series. It's starting this week. You'll get more details. But today, 1 o'clock Eastern, that's 11 o'clock Mountain, that's 12 o'clock Central, and that's 10 o'clock on the Pacific Coast. They're doing an opportunity webinar. I get that it's Labor Day weekend, but folks, how serious are you about our business? Because what you want to do is you want to jump on this webinar, go to the registration link. Here it is, www.gotomeeting.com/register, and here's the number that you're going to need in order to get registered, okay? Write all this down. I'm going to leave this up here for just a couple of minutes. Make sure you write it down. You're going to get a text in 20 minutes. If you're part of our business, you're going to get a text in 20 minutes with this registration link on there. Get on this webinar, but here's the thing. Don't come alone today. Go get a guest, get them registered, give them the telephone number if they need to call into it, but do everything you can right now to take action. Just today. Take action today and get one prospect on this webinar, folks. That is the key to watching our business grow. So with that, I'm going to, hopefully you've written this down. You're going to get a text in 20 minutes if you're part of our business. And with that, let me invite all of you to come back next Saturday. Next Saturday, we're going to do skill number 3. Skill number 3 is called follow-up. So I'm putting David and Susie back up on the screen here so you've got it. But next week, we're going to cover follow-up. And folks, the fortune is in the follow-up in our business. If I told you how many people, and going back in my 30 years when we used to send VHS tapes, right? I'd buy a VHS tape. Remember before DVDs there was VHS? And put them in an envelope. That tape was $2 or $3, and mailing that was $1. I was $5 in that package. Folks, I did follow up, but I can tell you, the number of people that would lick that stamp, put those in, send it to somebody, and never follow up with them was frightening. Upwards of 90% never did follow up. And folks, the fortunes in the follow-up, we're going to cover following up correctly next week. So with that, I'm going to end this webinar. You've got a half hour. Jump on this webinar with David and Susie Butler. It is going to be a barn burner. It's going to be about the Family Vacation Network opportunity. Get on this webinar. Thanks for joining this morning. And John Dehart, Executive Director, Sales, Marketing, Field Development. Once again, thanks everybody for joining us. And we'll hear everybody on David and Susie's webinar. Bye for now.